Hello everyone, back with another video. So this is ranking my top 15 favourite Christmas films, or should I say films to watch at Christmas. So some of these are straight up Christmas themed films, as you'll see when we get to them. And then some of are ones that just always remember being on TV around Christmas time when I was younger. Um, we also used to have like a video player that you could record things on. So my mum and dad would record certain films and we put them on around Christmas time. So a few I don't actually own, but ones like Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. And obviously there's straight up Christmas films like, say, The Grinch and Elf that I enjoy but don't own. Yeah, I don't really own too many Christmas films just because when I do want to watch them, obviously I only really watch them. Let me take these stupid elves off my neck. When I do actually want to watch them, it's usually around Christmas time. I only watch them for like a week or so. So a few I do own, but in general, I don't really buy too many of them. I watch them on streaming. So last year I watched The Grinch, Nightmare Before Christmas. I think I watched Elf, but yeah, I watched them through like streaming services. I don't really have too many streaming services, as you know. I buy a lot of physical media. Without going into it too much, I sort of have Disney Plus and Netflix. Is it? I pay for it just because some of my family use it. Uh, so my like niece, who's quite young, watches Disney. So even though I don't watch it much stuff on it. I don't want to take it away, not pay for it, so they can't use it. And then Prime I have just because I pay for Amazon Prime for my deliveries to come the next day and stuff. Show you my Christmas jumper, so it's got a funky Rudolph on it. Right, anyway, on with the video so I don't waffle on too long. Yeah, so my list's probably going to be a bit different to most people's. Certain classics like It's a Wonderful Life, Christmas Vacation, heard are really good but haven't seen them. I was going to make it my New Year's resolution to get hold of some of them, but I guess once you do it in January, it's going to be like 12 months till I can watch it. So yeah, a few might be sort of Christmas horror themed ones. Get to it as I show them. So yeah, first one. Sorry, there's a bit of glare in here. I've had to have the light on, so I'm recording this when I got home from work about 11:30 at night. So Rare Exports. I think it's Norwegian, Finnish. So yeah, Finnish language. So I'll read you the back so I don't go into any spoilers. But on the eve of Christmas, a young boy sets out to discover the truth behind several strange goings on in his small isolated village. Why have all the reindeer been slaughtered? Who took all the hairdryers and radiators? And where have all the children gone? Seal the chimney, lock the doors, hide your children. This year the real Santa Claus is coming to town. So without spoiling it, you can probably see him on the back. Or maybe not with this bloody glare. Is that a bit better? Basically, it has got Santa in, but he's not the sort of nice, jovial Santa everybody knows. Pretty sure they like find him living in a cave. 79 minutes, so quite a short one. Yeah, it's a bit of a darker take on the Christmas kind of theme. Won't really show these in any order apart from top. Well, I'd say one. There's sort of two joined. So I got a Christmas comedy, so Bad Santa. You get it, so there's not too much glare. It's quite hard to not get the glare. So yeah, Billy Bob Thornton. Oh, sorry, let me just check who directs this one. Jalmari Helander, I think. Can't say I've heard of him, but obviously being Finnish, wouldn't really expect to. Oh yeah, so this is directed by Terry Zwigoff. Can't really say I've heard of him. From 2003. Yeah, it's a kind of bit more of a raucous, sort of naughty kind of Santa, as you can tell by Bad Santa. Billy Bob Thornton in it. Yeah, this is a comedy, but yeah, quite sort of yeah, I guess raucous comedy is what you'd class it as, or risque kind of, with Santa like doing bad things. This one, not a Christmas movie, but I always associate it with Christmas. Sorry, let me get a better light again. Just because of the atmosphere. Obviously, snow everywhere, wintry. Music by Danny Elfman. I find Danny Elfman. Let me double check it's Danny Elfman. Pretty sure it is. If it's Tim Burton, yeah, Danny Elfman. We've got another one by Tim Burton and Danny Elfman on here, but yeah, it's obviously not a direct Christmas film. Might even be set in the summer. Well, it's not set in the summer because there's snow, but later on they've all got their like green lawns and stuff. I think yeah, when you first see uh, him up in his tower and that is like winter. I haven't watched it for a few years, but yeah, this is one we always used to watch. I think we used to watch this one Christmas Eve quite a lot, to tell you the truth. Yeah, one of my favourite Tim Burton films. Another one we'll see. Obviously, then you've got Batman, which is a classic, probably his best one. Nightmare Before Christmas, which I don't own, and Beetlejuice, which yeah we used to watch a lot as kids. So yeah, there were certain films they'd always show at Christmas or around Christmas, Boxing Day, into New Year. But some of them didn't really have a Christmas feel. But I remember they always used to put Tron on the TV for some reason. Condor Man, if anybody remembers that. Some of the sort of cartoons, I remember like Robin Hood, Sword and Stone, Black Cauldron, Disney classics were always on. But yeah, sure everybody knows Edward Scissorhands. Not really a massive fan of Johnny Depp. Obviously he's good in Nightmare on Elm Street, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. But yeah, that's one of his better roles. Whereas yeah, some stuff I can't really stand him in, to tell you the truth. Again, not really a Christmas one, but just a really magical film. I think I liked watching this one around Christmas or leading up to Christmas when I was a kid, just because it would get me excited for all the chocolate and stuff I was going to have. Yeah, brilliant, classic. 100 Minutes, directed by Mel Stewart, starring Gene Wilder. I think I've seen, talking of Johnny Depp, the remake of it with Johnny Depp in, and I think he's got like weird false teeth. Can't really say I like the film. I can't remember it too much. Watched it once years ago when it came out, probably 20 years ago. But didn't really like Johnny Depp. And then I've heard, in the newer one, it's called Wonka with Timothy Chalamet. He was a good actor, but a lot of people are saying just don't stand up to Gene Wilder. Yeah, it's a really classic film in general. Sure, everybody's seen this. Quite a creepy bit I find when they go through the tunnel, and it's got the sort of song, the rowers keep on rowing, and it gets more and more intense, and there's more sort of scenery and stuff. Yeah, kind of creepy, but yeah, it's a kind of magical film. So yeah, I always associate with this being on around Christmas. But yeah, I think it's more just it being about chocolates and confectionery. Yeah, me and my sister used to know we was getting our stockings Christmas morning with all our chocolate and stuff in, so we'd like watch that to like hype us up for it. Let's see another actual proper Christmas film, but a bit of a horror one. Oh, another bad glare. The Krampus. So yeah, one of the better sort of Christmas horror films. Really funny one. Directed by Michael Dougherty, who also, it might be Doherty, I would say Dougherty, also does Trick or Treat, which is one of my favourites. So yeah, he's done probably one of my favourite Halloween themed horror films and one of my favourite Christmas themed horror films. So yeah, it's stars Adam Scott from TV's Parks and Recreation, and he's also the brother that gets punched in Step Brothers. Toni Collette, obviously most famous I'd say for Hereditary. David Kushner from Anchorman. I think he's the cowboy kind of guy, the news anchor that says whammy and like slams his fist down. But yeah, it is genuinely funny, really good creature effects. I thought it'd just be the Krampus, but he sets these other toys and teddies and things after him. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a light-hearted horror. I mean, it says on the back strong threat and it's a 15. But yeah, it is a Christmas film, but a bit more of a horror, but not really a mean-spirited one. It's a bit more of a fun sort of comedy one. Sure, everybody knows Gremlins. So yeah, I mean, this is set at Christmas, and it is a Christmas film, but obviously, unlike some, doesn't have Christmas in the title. I think I remember most about watching this, probably first seen this when I was about 8 or so. Obviously enjoyed Gizmo, was real cute, and like the Gremlins when they're causing mayhem. The bit I remember is when the girl tells the story about how her dad was pretending to be Father Christmas, and he sort of fell down the chimney and got stuck there for days and like died. And yeah, that always kind of haunted me as a kid. And I think me and my sister used to check the chimney on Boxing Day, hoping Father Christmas wasn't dead in there. But yeah, sure, everybody knows Gremlins. Gremlins 2 really fun as well. Can't remember if Gremlins 2 is a Christmassy one, but yeah, obviously Gremlins 1. Haven't really put them in an order, but I'm just having a look. Yeah, I'm trying to sort of space them out. So you've got a few sort of horror Christmas, a few non-Christmas, but that I associate with Christmas, and then a few straight up Christmas. So you've got Batman Returns. So when I was talking about Tim Burton and Danny Elfman, Obviously, it's a bit more sort of violent and dark than most Christmas films, but it's set at Christmas. Max Shrek falls into the giant Christmas tree in like Times Square. Really snowy, really good atmosphere. Um, yeah, it is. Die Hard. To be fair, I do own it and really enjoy it, and I guess it's a Christmas film, but I only just spoke about that in my action film, so I didn't think I'd put it in here. But yeah, Michael Keaton, Danny DeVito, Michelle Pfeiffer. Really like Danny DeVito as the Penguin. Who is it that plays Max Shrek? Christopher Walken, Michael Goff, Pat Hingle, Michael Murphy. Scored by Danny Elfman, obviously directed by Tim Burton. Yeah, I think this is probably my favourite film by Tim Burton. Do really like the original Batman, but probably slightly prefer this one. And yeah, I think we did actually watch this on Christmas Eve or something when we were kids, first of all. Watched this a lot of times since, but yeah, sure, everybody knows Batman Returns. Absolute classic here, Wizard of Oz. So it's not really set at Christmas or has anything to do with Christmas, but again, I just associate it as a Christmas film. I mean, this list, yeah, it's more films I enjoy watching at Christmas rather than films with Christmas in the title. So yeah, sure, everybody knows Wizard of Oz. Yeah, I must have first seen this when I was about 5. I can remember bits of it, but can't remember the whole story. I think when it first started, I hadn't seen a black and white movie, so I was kind of like, why is this in black and white? And then when it turns into Technicolor, it just looks even more amazing. Yeah, so from 1939. So yeah, going on like 70 years old, but it's not really aged. Nice little slip cover. Yeah, so I think I owned this on DVD before, but never had upgraded it. And then a few months ago, I think when the 4K came out, I got this one reduced in like a little bargain bin in HMV, which I don't usually look through because it's usually mostly crap. But yeah, I think it was like £3 or so. Sure, everybody knows Wizard of Oz. Not too much I can say about that. I mean, I'm saying these, yeah, Christmas time rather than Christmas Day or Christmas Eve. So yeah, I think that was always on TV on Boxing Day, or at least on the bank holidays and things. Let's go for another with an actual more Christmassy theme. So Miracle on 34th Street. Who actually directs this? Les Mayfield. Produced by John Hughes. I'm going to say it feels a bit like a John Hughes film. Starring Richard Attenborough, Elizabeth Perkins, Dylan McDermott, and Mara Wilson. Susan. So I think Mara Wilson is a young girl. You can see on the front that was also in Matilda. Who, yeah, was a brilliant child actress when she was younger. It was based on in this new holiday, Miracle, based on the famous 1947 film classic. A little girl discovers dreams can come true if you really believe. 6-year-old Susan Walker has doubts about childhood's most enduring miracle, Santa Claus. Her mother told her a secret about Santa a long time ago, so Susan doesn't expect to receive the most important gifts on her Christmas list. But after seeing a special department store Santa who's convinced he's the real thing, Susan is given the most precious gift of all, something to believe in. What year was this? I think it must have been 90s. See if I can find... Yeah, 1994. So yeah, it's a really magical, kind of heartwarming film, but it has some funny moments. But the bit when Santa Claus gets taken to court is just crazy. Obviously, Kris Kringle, they call him. But yeah, Richard Attenborough, brilliant in this. One of the best roles I've seen him in. Obviously, also in Great Escape and Jurassic Park. Sure, everybody knows Richard Attenborough. When I was younger, I used to get him muddled up with David Attenborough. 40 on Miracle on 34th Street, I was waiting for him to say something about the habitat of reptiles. What else have we got? So yeah, the Mighty Ducks. So again, I don't think this is set at Christmas. Some of these I haven't really watched in quite a few years. Not since I was a kid. I have seen them sort of as an adult, but not for a long time. But yeah, obviously it's ice skating, set on the ice. And yeah, it just gives me a kind of wintry feel. But again, it's just one that was always on around Christmas, or at least when we had on VHS that we used to always put on at Christmas. Yeah, with certain sort of films, this Wizard of Oz, few I'll get to later, that was kind of a bit of a tradition to watch them on Christmas Eve. You know what you're like when your kid's on Christmas Eve, you're so excited, you're trying not to be naughty, and your parents are saying you're not going to have any presents if you keep playing up. And we used to get one present on Christmas Eve to sort of placate us, I guess. And I think we got this on VHS. And each time we get a few on VHS to watch or a board game to play on Christmas Eve. But yeah, I think we got this one on VHS on Christmas Eve one year. And I think we got Probably not Gremlins, because that was a bit too old for us. Yeah, it might have been Wizard of Oz or something. Just keeping an eye, because my cat's lurking by his litter tray. I've moved it out of the room, so you won't be able to hear him if he does it. Let me shoo him off. Wait. Get him out of it, because you don't want to be hearing that. This video's nearly ended, so I'm sure you can hold his bladder for a few more minutes. And you got this one, Narnia. So this was originally aired on TV. Is it ITV? BBC? Remember watching it. I watched it first of all when I remember I was ill on the sofa. I'd been being sick when I was about 5 years old, and my mum gave me like lemonade to drink. I don't know if lemonade helps, but it was always like a myth. It sort of settled your stomach. So I was drinking lemonade. That was the first time I seen it properly. Get out of it. He's literally just been a toilet twice, so I don't know why he's trying to do it. He's just trying to throw a spanner in the works. But yeah, the first time I ever this came to my attention, there was a toy shop in my hometown that I ended up working in as an adult, and they had an amazing window display, and they had like a big Lego Santa, like life size, and stockings and things hanging in the window. It was either in that shop or it might have been the sort of electronics shop a few doors along, like Curry's or something, it might have been called at the time, that had this showing on their little TV, and I was kind of watching it, and I was like, what was this? And it came to the break sort of bit, and it said part one or whatever of the Chronicles of Narnia, and then it either came on TV or we got it on video. But yeah, just remember watching this around sort of Christmas time. I think it's when we went to Santa's grotto. You used to like sit on Santa's knee and get like a present, get like a lucky dip, usually a pretty cheap, crappy little present. But yeah, so that's got a lot of nostalgia for me. I know Sammy G's a big fan of this. To be fair, I should have said at the start, but yeah, I wasn't really too sure whether to do this because I'm not really a conventional Christmas films watcher. But Sammy G did say he would like to see what my 15 Christmas films are, and obviously, as we'll get to a few now, a bit darker than some of other people's ones. I'm shutting this door, so if he does start doing backstroke in his litter tray, then you won't be able to hear it much. So yeah, talking of darker stuff, there's one, Mum and Dad. So yeah, it's very unfestive, but it is set at Christmas. There's a bit later on where, without going into it too much, some guy kind of gets crucified to the Christmas tree. Remember when I spoke about this in one before, I think Roy Barrett from Blue Roy Movies commented saying it's a really messed up film. So yeah, I think I've told the story. I think I had this in my top 20 disturbing films of all time or whatever list I did about 2-3 years ago. Yeah, showed it to my mate and it really disturbed him. At the time he didn't really say much, and then he said once he got home and was thinking about it, he just couldn't go to sleep and stuff. So I mean, I think it's like a dark comedy, very sort of black comedy, but it does have some very disturbing scenes. I mean, it says on the back, contains strong bloody violence, torture, terrorization and sex references. 85 minutes, directed by Stephen Scheel. Stars Perry Benson, Dido Miles, Olga Fedori, Ainsley Howard, Toby Alexander. Doesn't seem to say who does the music. That's one thing I was wondering. But yeah, I thought I'd show this. I mean, if you're having a happy Christmas, don't watch this one because it will bring you down. But as everybody knows, I'm into my sort of horror and a lot of darker stuff. So yeah, technically it's kind of a Christmas film, innit? I'll show you this as an honourable mention. If I can find it. Inside. So yeah, this one's set at Christmas, but very unfestive. But it's not really a spoiler to say that. It says on the back, following the death of her husband, an expectant mother is tormented in her home on Christmas Eve by a strange woman who wants her unborn baby. So set at Christmas, but that's kind of always been my argument. I don't say Die Hard isn't a Christmas film, but I like to play kind of devil's advocate with my mates who are saying it and say, you know, if you ever watch Inside, set at Christmas, house decked with Christmas trimmings, Christmas tree, it's all about Christmas, and yet it really isn't what you would want to watch on Christmas kind of thing. So yeah, I just always say that, I agree Die Hard can be seen as a Christmas film, but at the same time, you could say Inside is a Christmas film, and it literally has the opposite of Christmas spirit. So another Christmas horror. I've got this in the box set, so it's Black Christmas. Did you have this on DVD on, I think, the 101? Has it got the same front cover? No, let's just see this reversible. Yeah, so that was the original cover I had on the DVD with like the little bauble, do you call it? Don't know what they call it in America, where this is made, but in England. So yeah, it's quite an old one. It's let's see if I can find the date. Actually can't. Don't seem to be written on there. 98 minutes. Yeah, really classic horror. I tell you the truth, I haven't seen these other two by Bob Clark yet. Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things and Death Dream. Oh, it tells me on the side, stupidly, 1974. But yeah, sort of had my eye on this set for a while, and it was always really expensive at like 40 or 50. And I think in the HMV sale a while ago, I got this reduced from, I think it was 40 down to about 18 or so. But yeah, sure everybody knows Black Christmas, one of the archetypal Christmas horrors. Is he called Billy in it? He says here, my name's Billy. I'm having a flashback. I haven't watched this one for quite a while, to tell you the truth. I find that with Christmas films, I'll probably usually watch, say, 5 or so in the run up to Christmas, or at least on Christmas Day and stuff. So, you think if I watch 5 and a couple we'll see coming up now, I kind of watch every Christmas or Christmas Eve. Usually watch The Grinch or Nightmare Before Christmas through streaming or on TV if it's on there. Let me move this a little bit. On Christmas Eve. So, yeah, I guess you're probably getting through about 3 different ones a year. So, I'm not really going to watch that one when it's not Christmas. So, yeah, I haven't seen it for years and years. But I remember, like, creepy phone calls and stuff on it. And then these are kind of a joint first place, I guess. So, I'll show them both at once. But Home Alone 1 and 2. So, I think in my favourite movies, I did rank Home Alone higher. I think Home Alone 2 is a better Christmas film. More Christmassy and sort of set out in the streets of New York and stuff with like the Pigeon Lady. More fun film, but for me this is kind of more nostalgic. So it was only probably a year or two after we seen this when I seen Home Alone 2. Did really enjoy it, but this first Home Alone, just really remember sitting down on Christmas Eve, like, with all warm. We had like an old coal fire when I was a kid. By the coal fire with some like chocolate or something, watching this, and then I think the next day, I don't think I got it, but maybe my cousins got the Mega Drive game, which I do own now. I should have brought it in to show you. I've showed it on my Mega Drive Sega collection video, but yeah, I think they got it, and I went around their house to play it, and obviously that cemented it a bit more in nostalgia, where I was playing this and the game of it, and I think maybe I had some Home Alone pajamas or something, so it just got a bit more nostalgia. But when I watch it as an adult, still really enjoy this one. But yeah, I'd say probably this is more of a favourite one now. I know when I spoke about it before, quite a few people, including Stuart George, said that they prefer Home Alone 2 to Home Alone 1. It is more Christmassy. I mean, this is set at Christmas, and obviously they go, no spoiler to say, I'm sure if you haven't seen it, you'll know the plot, but they sort of go off on holiday and leave him at home on his own. Then the wet bandits are trying to get in his house to burgle it, and he has to set traps to fight them off. It has like a Christmas tree and stuff in it, but this one focuses a lot more on Christmas. With at the start he's singing "Christmas Tree, Oh Christmas Tree." Kevin McAllister, played by Macaulay Culkin, and his horrible brother like shout stuff out and that. And then obviously I think I personally would really like to go to New York over Christmas, just with the big like tree in Times Square and all the snow, and it looks cold. And all the shops, it might not be like that so much now, but I remember as a kid watching films where you'd see these big toy shops and it just looked really magical. And yeah, this is kind of the epitome of like really using New York and its kind of snowy scapes and that to really sort of utilise this kind of Christmas feeling. So yeah, there are other ones I can't think of off the top of my head. Obviously, I've seen over the years that I do enjoy certain Christmas films that I don't own. But yeah, a lot I do need to pick up really, but I guess there's not much point picking them up after Christmas, is there? Yeah, so let me know your favourite ones and some classics I should be watching. Not the kind of person who's like a Grinch and doesn't get into the spirit of Christmas. I've always enjoyed Christmas and that, but watching Christmas films, yeah, it's kind of a bit of a niche where I say only got a week or so I watch them, so I don't get that many in. So when it comes to buying films, I'm not like thinking in January, oh, I better buy 20 Christmas films to watch next December kind of thing. So yeah, I thought I'd do the video because, I'm sure everybody's doing this and everybody will have It's a Wonderful Life and maybe Miracle on 34th Street, Home Alone, The Grinch, Elf, Whereas, yeah, I thought I'd show a few different ones, a few kind of horror ones, and yeah, the Mum and Dad I've shown is a bit more of a kind of joke. I wouldn't really recommend people without a strong stomach that are not into disturbing horror films watch that one. But yeah, most of the rest, like Krampus and Rare Exports, are kind of a bit dark, but they're kind of funny family film enough. Yeah, rambled on long enough at 25 minutes, but shorter than some of my videos, so quite happy with that. Right, thanks everybody. Have a good Christmas. Bye.